G'day and welcome to another slow and steady video here on the channel. My name is Katie and today is, well, I guess you could say from Road Truckers, it's a new beginning. Last time we were here, of course, we were at Antler Arch and we were talking about the new Road Truckers game, which is called New Beginnings. And little did I know that we would have an influx of announcements, of course, Euro Truck and American Truck and Road Kings. And I love the trucking genre. It's I've been around trucks since I was probably about 5 years old. Sort of, going out with my dad on summer holidays and stuff. And it's an industry. It's a passion. Just the noise, the size of these things. And the whole culture around trucks, like the Convoy movie, Smokey and the Bandit, all that good stuff. And I thought, with all these new games at the moment, we have like 6 games, I think, on rotation. So it takes like 6 weeks for a game to come back around. And that was working okay. But now with Euro Truck, American Truck, and Road Kings, it's like, okay, we've got to make a decision here about the channel and what we do and how we cover trucking. And so, sadly, we have now dropped Tactical Thursday. Another genre that I really, really enjoy. I like, tactical running clans and different things like that. So, it's but I've got to sort of, you can't cover it all. There's lots of content creators out there that do a wonderful job, and it's not, although it's my passion, it's not my job to cover all games, and that's okay. That's okay. And I've recently got a new job, and I've joined a band as well. So of course, your partner as well. You have to sort of balance this thing. This channel is incredibly important to me. It's a brand. It's an identity, slow and steady, and I really enjoy building it, and I'm enjoying building our own little community. And albeit, it's quite small, but I'm hoping that it will grow and it will garnish new opportunities as we go along. And that's sort of where we are right now. And I thought, I don't want to give up the trucking genre, and I know that my Wild West Wednesdays don't really sort of get a huge amount of views, but it's something that I enjoy, and the Fat Cat Caravan Dean over there, go check out his channel. He does some wonderful coverage, extremely knowledgeable guy. And he said to me, like, if you're passionate about something, that will come across in the video, and just do what you enjoy, and that really is the open world. Let's just jump out the truck again. Be it whether it's these, hunking great bloody 18-wheelers of metal, or whether it's just the open world on a horse. And that's the 2 genres that I'm going to be running right now, which is, the Wild West, and I've got plans for that as well. And as the community grows, come fishing with me. We caught fish on a previous video, or do horse trials, or sit around a campfire and talk about mental health, or whatever. But we're going to be running now trucking Tuesdays and trucking Thursdays, and then Wild West sandwiched in the middle there. Just that sense of serenity, that wonderful, peaceful world that is Red Dead Redemption. So there we are. So yeah. Who'd have thought that would be the direction that we were going to take last time we were here talking about New Beginnings? Now, of course, that's a trucking game, and it's a part of the genre for the channel, so we'll be covering that now. And again, I want to go into these games. I don't want to rip them apart. It's not. Um, I used to write for a music magazine. You have to find the balance, whether it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. You can talk about, the bad in the game, and don't get me wrong, some games are terrible, so maybe there is just bad, but I always want to try and find a little bit of good as well. So let's, I think that's enough waffle kicking us off, but there we go. It's now really a trucking trucks and horses, if you like. That's kind of where we're at right now. And, hopefully that's your jam. And hopefully I don't lose too many subscribers over it. We can build. But you are very, very welcome here to just go slow and steady and enjoy these wonderful worlds that we've got coming up, with all these fabulous games that we've got coming down the pipeline. So we're going to continue with the Trucking Tuesdays, Trucking Thursdays, and Wild West Wednesdays, and I think that'll be a good balance. It'll be a good identity for the channel. The channel, has got absolute clarity of where it's going and what you can expect. As much as I love the new Metal Gear coming out, we've got the new Tom Clancy coming out, we've got Battlefield 6 coming out. I'm still going to be playing those games, so if you've got me on a friends list, we can still hook up and do all that cool stuff, and there's several channels out there that we can get involved in and stuff, but there we go. That's slow and steady gaming, and that's me, KT, and I think we better just get on and do some bloody tracking, right? Should we just do that? Let's start the day. I think we're going to start the day by checking over the truck. I don't think we've done that for quite a while. Right, so we've got coolant. I'm going to need some engine oil. I'm going to need an air filter. I've never put fuses in. I carry them, but I've never had to put fuses in. So we've got coolant, engine oil. That's all looking good. Headlight bulbs. Let's grab those a second. I think that might be it. Right, let's have a wander around the truck. So you kind of need them in your pocket just to... And I love this about this game, really. And, the new direction, of course, of Road Truckers is this sort of cozy type game, really. I mean, it's, it's an RPG. And so you're not going to have this sort of... Well, I mean, maybe we'll have that type of realism within that sort of, within that ilk. But, I sort of said, I think on my Euro Truck video, we were talking about... And I was still saying, actually, maybe they've made a really good shout because they're sort of putting themselves in a space all by themselves. The RPG of of trucking. There's no other game like it. So instead of being on the this type of thing where you've got Australia Road Truckers and now of course you've got Euro and American and all that lot coming in. It's going to be interesting. Then you've got, of course, we've got the Dutch Connection, which I believe is going to be narrative based, which is going to be interesting because I never did like the American Dream, and I take you got Sabre now and Focus in with a road tracking game, but that also to me looks like a narrative kind of game. It's called Road Kings. So engine. Let's have a quick look at this. No, that's fine. Air filter. We'll just repair that. So maybe what they've done actually is put themselves in a really good space with the next Road Truckers game, it's going to be interesting, but ultimately the winner here is the gamer, isn't it? Just with so much variety. Wipers, I don't think I've put any wipers in my... I might have to buy some wipers next time I'm out. The oil, that should be in the middle between those two lines. You wouldn't really overfill the oil, so that's completely fine. The coolant, we can top the coolant up a little bit. Again, there perhaps should be a line for the coolant there if you've filled up coolant ever in your life. But yeah, that's that. And a radiator probably does not need repair, so we are good to go. Now, as you go through the game, you will be working on your trucker. And here's mine. Now, what have we got level 30 going on here. And, I've put, I think, into this save alone, 86 hours. And I've still not completed all the skill tree. So, this will be on rotation. I quite enjoy the game. I still need to unlock the medical transports. We've got the military transport to unlock. I'm not so worried about the class 4 trucks because I really quite do like my truck, and that'll be that one done. We've got some, so you got the customization, unlocks customized options for truck parts. I think the game was never fully developed in order to use those particular skill points. But we use the tire workshop, and the reduces the repair costs, so we'll definitely be looking at getting that. Over on here, our nutrition drops 10% slower, and then we've got a energy loss, increases cold resistance. So yeah, so all it's getting there, but there's still stuff to unlock, So let's go and have something to eat. Hopefully I've got something in the cupboard. Another great, thing about this game, really, that you have to, have something to eat. I know, some people sort of said, oh, they wish they could turn this off. So thankfully, it does spoil as well. I've got 13 days, so I've obviously been shopping. I quite fancy a breakfast. Actually, come on. What are we doing? We actually need to go to sleep first and then have breakfast. That's what we need to do. So, rest. And you get 80% rest in your cab. But if we pull up at a travel lodge or some sort of like hotel, then you'll get 100% sleep. But for now, that'll do, 80. Get some shut-eye. Of course, time would have moved on. We're now sort of coming up to 3/4 of the way through the spring, so we've still got some good weather ahead of us. Let's have that breakfast combo. Put that in the microwave. Now, I wish they would. They're not going to do this. Do you know, I seen a comment by the developers of this game saying that they do the updates now in their own time, so they're no longer paid to do updates, so don't expect too much. But of course the microwave is down here, but the hitbox is here. We'll put the breakfast in. If you've got the original truck, the hitbox for the microwave will be in the correct place, but that's just where it is, And we'll have to see, but I really don't expect them to be sort of doing anything with this game, anything further. But that's okay, it will stay on rotation until such time. Let's have our breakfast sat in the cab, shall we? There we go, a bit of animation there. And we'll go looking for a job. So, now there was a job here I was interested in. No, it's still there. So I want to pick up just something a bit unusual. So this is a broken tractor. And we're going to take up to Timmy's workshop. Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Timmy's workshop might be like the Santa thing. So if I click on that, does it actually show me the... Do you need to click here? Oh, no, that's not far at all. Oh, well, we'll go pick it up anyway. That's literally right around the corner, isn't it? So we'll set a sat-nav to there. Get this started up now. It's been a while. What's the lights on this thing? Yeah, that's lights. How'd you get the... No, I don't want to stream. Square, there we go. So we've got lights. We've got an animation in there. She's pretty good, actually. Does cross her hands. And... Right, let's jump back in the cab. A few cameras to get back in, but certainly nothing like Truck Driver Gold. Now, using our mirrors, we're going to back this up. We're using manual gears. Handbrake. Now, I've got the mirrors on high. Watch that fence a second. Let's put up a couple of gears. We want to turn right here. Now, checking left. We'll see how the AI reacts. Of course, no cruise control on this bloody game, which is bonkers when it comes to a truck game, in my opinion. Red light. That's just turned green, so we'll have this. Yeah, there's no auto center camera. But we've got some cracking games coming out. So, there will be a point where this, kind of drops off the radar a bit, I would imagine. But, I do want to keep them on rotation. I still think you know, in some way or another, these games, each game brings its own, you know, what word am I looking for? Each game brings its own charmed table, you know. But I've had a love-hate with this game. Like sometimes I can just see all the inconsistencies with the pop-ups and textures, and then other times I can see past it and just enjoy the game for a little bit, you know. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this new one and how it runs, and yeah, there's going to be some customization. But it does look like a cozy little game, really. Red light there. Down a couple of gears. Down into second, that might do. Handbrake. Oh, green light. So I'm going to pick up this tractor. But yeah, I think all these big players getting involved now with SCS Software, Focus, you know, it's really going to raise the bar of some of these smaller companies. You know, that's not a bad thing. You know, some of these games get released and they're buggy and they don't get fixed and they all go quiet. You know, it's good God, did you see that van? It come round on two wheels. Goodness me. Right, let's get up into this yard. And we'll put the hazards on. Also looking for the office on this game. It's the thing, when you come back every sort of 5 weeks, you sort of forget how it all works, really. There's still that stutter there where it does save. Okay, I think we'll leave everything running. And we'll just jump out and have a word with him and see if we can find out where this tractor's to. Howdy fella, you've got a tractor apparently. A broken tractor. We'll take that. That doesn't look like a broken tractor, does it? That looks like a set of logs. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely not a tractor, is it? Oh dear. Anyway, we'll take the logs. So we talk about, you know, play testing and these type of things, and yeah, I don't know what to say really. So, staying in first person. We'll just use third gear for now. Now, see how these mirrors are working. We've got the little dot that appears as we get closer to the trailer. You do actually engage the gears, well, if you set manual gears, you know, and you've got that audible tone. Okay, perfect. Handbrake on. We'll turn those hazards off because they do make a noise outside. Don't need the wipers on. And oh, we'll also jump into second gear so we haven't got that audible tone in reverse. And we'll jump out. Okay, first of all I think we will get this hooked up. And we'll leave the stands down just for safety. Let's get these cables. And grab the red one. and jump down. Okay, let's get the stand. Normally you have a handle, so it's like a different trailer altogether, isn't it? And sometimes you have the button that you have to push, but there's no real sort of button or handle on those. But yeah, that's a set of logs. That's definitely not a tractor. Why are the indicators on permanently? And it looks like the brake lights are on as well. It's just let's go try something in a second. Okay. We should be checking to make sure the trailer is roadworthy. Okay, they're flashing now. Or are they? Hold on. Well, that's very odd, isn't it? Where are the indicators to? So you normally throw the hazards on just to check all the lights, see? And you've got, like, the lights are all working on the truck. That's a good way of checking to make sure the bulbs are working, right? That's all okay. But yeah, the back of that trailer, nice little reflection on the back there from the truck onto the stand. But yeah, there's a problem there, isn't it? It looks like the lights are just permanently on, and the indicator lights are just permanently on the back of the trailer, you know. And this is what I do, you know. I want to be, you know, talking about the immersion and how sometimes immersion breaking it can be. And I know some people might just see through that, you know. But if you're going to be into your trucks, you're going to be picking up these type of games, you know. If you've done any sort of like you'd normally check over the wagon and make sure that it's just good for the road, you know, before you take off. But there we go. Let's hit the road. I think we're only going down the road, to be fair. So, oh, we've only got 55 minutes. That's all right. Okay, so we will take off the handbrake, throw it up into third, and we'll knock off those mirrors as well, I think. Although actually, they kind of look okay with the you've got like two types of mirrors. You've got like you've got the hard mirrors, which is there, which can look quite fugly on the screen, and then you've got, so you can turn them off. You can have these faded in mirrors, and actually, they're sort of, you might try them for a bit actually. So we're turning left. Fifth gear, up into seventh, in eighth gear. I think we've got 9 gears on this truck, so we could grab another, but the engine seems quite happy in 8th gear. Does it come around? So what game was I playing yesterday? I think it was Truck and Logistics. And this game, I've got my glasses on, but this game actually looks a little bit blurry, doesn't it, as well? Dropping it down to 5th, although the way that engine sort of revved over, you'd think I'd drop down to 2nd. We'll pull away in 3rd, and that is someone who drove in the back of me. I just watched they've disappeared, but we had a -2 cargo durability. So that's happened to me a couple of times in this game now. So the AI is still driving into the back of the lorry, which is a damn shame, really. But we're still delivering our tractor. Let's get back in the cab. But yeah, I think I pulled over on a previous video. Someone's beeping, but we've got the red light here, beeping. See, I come from Somerset, and we say beep. Someone beeped me. But literally everywhere else I've gone in the UK, like Stafford, Birmingham, Newcastle, everyone else says bibbed. They bibbed me, which really took me by surprise after sort of spending, you know, my growing years, you know, in Somerset, where people go, he beeped me. But literally the rest of the company say bib. They bibbed me. That took a little bit of getting used to. Yes, even that sign was a little bit blurry as it was coming up, you know. Do you think it's because I'm running the mirrors? Let's turn the mirrors off. Let's see if that straightens that up a little bit. That's, of course, it's turning the mirrors on and off. See, look at that sign. Look how blurry that sign is. It's on PS5. I'm just gonna back it down a couple of gears. Oh, I'm running out of fuel as well. I better watch fuel. The sign's starting to come in now, but from a distance. From a distance, that sign was proper blurry. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to get we're gonna have to pick up some fuel at some point. I was really in trouble. I don't think I've ever run out of fuel. Like, I've always been really sort of mindful of the fuel situation. Another green light. Our drop is only up the road, to be fair. We'll take a look at the map when we drop the load. So here's me messing about, see? We've got 11 minutes to do the drop. I think once you get into the yard, the timer does sort of, it acknowledges that you're on site. Another great frame drop there, just while it saves. I think to conquer that, they should just have manual saves. You know, I just save before I turn it off, or, and that would stop that horrible frame rate. See, look at that sign there, that game day sign with the ice hockey. Yeah, very blurry. So yeah, so maybe the new direction is that this pushed the team to the limit. Maybe they don't have that sort of size team anymore. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to sort of see, you know, how they go forward with it. But yeah, normally I come to this game and I have a really good time, but I feel like we've just been drove into again. Cargo durability -2, and you could see the shunt literally as we stopped at these lights. That's also damaged the radiator for some reason, and we're just minding our own business. So I don't think I've had such a bad run on this game before. Like, it's always been, you know, a fairly decent run. So that's a car, unless I was breached over the far side. I could have drifted into the lane, I suppose. Oh dear. Just not having a terribly good time, to be honest with you. I normally have a great time on this game. Hence it's on the channel, you know. So hopefully it drops not too far away. But no, so at the moment I think there's like 6 trucking games on rotation at the moment. So we'll see this game in the next 3 weeks. And that's a bit more reasonable, isn't it, for them to come around. If you had 10 games, you did 2 a week, it would take 5 weeks. Have I got my maths right? Is that right? It'll take 5. So if you did 10 games drop, which I really do sort of envision that we're going to have 10 trucking games on rotation. So it's here on the right, I think. Oh, okay, so it's one of these road drops then. Let's have a look for this a second. So it's not there. Oh, it's over there. Okay. Yeah. So 10. I reckon there'll be a total of 10 games on rotation. And that would mean that it's going to take us now, instead of 10 weeks to get over, because we only had the one trucking Tuesday, we've now got 2. And so, yeah, that timer is now timed out, I think. So, there's the reversing one. So, yeah, so I think doing 2 a week is now going to take only 5 weeks to do a full rotation. But that's still 5 weeks for the likes of American and Euro Truck to roll around. So you can see my decision. You know, you can see why I sort of come to that decision, you know. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Because, there's a lot of games out there, and, so let's just make it a bloody trucking channel, into reverse. No, wrong way. But yeah, I don't think I've had such a bad time on this game as we're having right now. Oh, other way, other way. Might have to have another crack at this, but we'll just see. Yeah, handbrake. I reckon I might go for another crack on this. So second gear, because it's not quite straight. Handbrake's on. It's sort of very difficult because it's not square onto the terrain. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a But let's into reverse gear. Considering our truck was spotless, like, when we started out this morning. Oh, cool, it's very sharp on that steering. I think that might have thrown us out on the other side. We'll continue on a second. No, Katie, you're making a right 2 and 8 with this. Let's have another go. Of course, we could whip out to third person, but where's the fun in that, really? Right, come on, third time lucky. That's a bit better, I think. Just watch that left mirror. No, it's that way. There we go, five stars. So, not particularly square. Should we have a look at it? Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so we'll just engage second gear, give it a bit of throttle, and we'll knock off that engine, I think. And we'll jump out the cab. I should have grabbed a photo of this for the old, thumbnail. But you've got that dirty, great yellow flashing beacon there. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with the, if you look at Truck Driver the American Dream and how they got these big boxes to say you've got to park in here. You could just have it like a little dotted line, to sort of see where it's got to go. But yeah, that thumbnail is going to be horrific with that great big yellow box. Right, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this trailer out here because we haven't dropped it yet. I'm going to take a nice photo. I'm going to reverse it back in, and I'll see you in 2 minutes. So I've taken the photo for the thumbnail. I think I'm quite happy with it. There's sort of like a trailer parked over there, if you can see it. I pulled up alongside that trailer over there, and we've just thrown it back into the bay. So let's get the stands down. Which again, there's no handle for this. You just push X. No, what do we do? Left on the. That's right. Left on the left stick. Yeah, it's been a problematic run, this one. Normally it's really quite good. But yeah, that's been quite problematic. So come off of here. We'll leave it all engaged a minute. We'll just knock off these cables. Pop that down there. I think it's a great addition. I don't mind the interactions around the truck. I think it's something that, I think if you spoke to SCS Software and you certainly spoke to the community, I think there's some of the community would like to see this kind of immersion, strapping down the loads and, looking after the truck in the way that you do. So this game does bring a lot of new elements that we've never seen on trucking, and that's why it's on rotation, because I do like it. But yeah, it still has some problem with bugs, and it's not the most best optimized game in the world. So let's get this trailer unhooked. And I guess not too sure where the... and at the very least, it's good to walk around. So where's he to? Oh, we might as well walk down there. It's nice to be walking around, on these sites and going into the office. So, but like I said, I think altogether these games will push the bar of each other. They're all going like, oh, we should think about that because that's really good, and yeah, it's like having lots of pizza companies, isn't it? You're not just going to get a crap pizza. You're going to go somewhere and it's like, that's an amazing pizza. I don't know, who doesn't like pizza, right? So let's have a look at this then. So we took a 4% hit on the cargo durability, and that was not our fault. The parking position was 5, and the reputation was only 1 star. Don't really know. The cargo penalty 82, but we still took 1,250. We'll take that. So that's absolutely fine. Not going to pick up another job. I think we're going to go park up next to that trailer that I took a photo, and we'll leave it there. But obviously I need to work on my truck, fix it up, have a good sleep, get some food, and hopefully the next time we come back to this game in about probably 3 weeks time at the moment, hopefully we'll have a better run. But it's, if you catch this game on a sale, I think it's worth picking up. I would still say to you it's worth picking up, but I would categorically say that it's not a flawless game. Like there's problems with it. Okay, so we'll go up into 3rd. We'll pull away in 3rd, and I think we'll go and park up next to that trailer. Of course, I didn't actually see, but the trailer disappears. Christ almighty. Thank you. That's a job giver there, is it? Okay. I don't know if there's a car behind. Oh god. Put the hazards on. Not the wipers. Oh dear. Let's have some mirrors. Let's just back this up. Of course, can we look out the window on this game? No, we can't. Yeah, just stay there, green. Can you just... Green car, can you guys just chill out a minute just while I back this up? I don't think I've had such a bad trucking game episode. Right, there's that trailer. I'm being too bad, but you can all bugger off today. That's what you can do. Right, we need a bacon sandwich. That might do. Let's just jump out and have a look. Yeah, that will do for our sleepover. We can pull back a bit more, I think. R2, handbrake off. There, that'll do. Handbrake, hazards, not wipers, lights, engine, and a nice little frame drop there because it saved the game. But there we go. I think that is us done for today. Alaskan Road Truckers, well, you're a little bit problematic today. I don't think it was all on me, but it's a game, isn't it? And it's one that I have spent time in, that I've enjoyed. I've put 86 hours into this game, but it's not without its problems. Anyway, I guess I'll leave that one there for Trucking Thursday. Look at that. For all the people that love the tactical stuff, and I am sorry that that's dropped off the channel. It's just a case of sort of like, just understanding what I want to cover and how I want to cover it, and being able to do that genre justice, and otherwise it would just take 10 weeks for a game to come back on rotation. With Euro Truck and American Truck, these are type of games where, like, we can have people jump on and do convoys. We can do stories with with people. You know, we could do like a double run down to a certain country. You know, the scope on those games are massive, and I just want to do them justice. You know, we can have other content creators come in and jump in on, you know, this channel, which then sort of maybe just sort of, you know, do some networking, um, you know, and we'll get like a big convoy sorted out. You know, the possibilities are endless, and you know, and likewise, you know, we did a, you know, a thing with we jumped on Ready or Not, didn't we? And Fat Cat was sort of like, you know, leading up that one. So I don't know where the future's going to go, but I think, you know, thinking from a slow and steady point of view, I think the trucks and horses make more sense, you know, and I'm grateful to you guys sticking around, you know, enjoying some of these adventures that we go on, and 3 videos a week, 2 trucking and 1 Wild West. That's it from me. Thank you once again if you've got through this terrible video. I don't often, you know, I always try and put out a good video, but I felt like that was a little problematic. But there you go, that's the good, the bad, and the ugly, isn't it? That's it for me. If you like the video, smash like on the way out. That'll be super appreciated. If you're not subscribed, then why not hit subscribe, be part of the SAS crew. And to the people that are subscribed, a big shout out to you. Thank you for supporting the channel. You guys rock, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy. See you soon. Bye.